from the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Nothing is more important than getting a good night's sleep, and when you don't get the rest you need, your whole day is thrown off. That's why it's so important to choose the right mattress. Sleeping on a Purple mattress is truly a unique experience, because Purple mattresses are made with a GelFlex Grid. The GelFlex Grid is an innovative material that moves with your body to relieve pressure in areas like knees and hips, and support in others like your back. It feels soft where you want it and supports where you need it. Purple mattresses instantly adapt when you move. You don't sink in and get stuck like with memory foam. And thanks to over 1,400 air chambers in the GelFlex Grid, you will sleep cooler on a Purple mattress. Purple has a wide variety of mattresses, from the original Purple mattress to the Restore Hybrid collection that combines GelFlex Grid with coils, and the Rejuvenate Luxe collection, the height of luxury, with over 112,000 five-star reviews to prove it. Visit purple.com to find the perfect Purple for you and enter code podcast10 to get 10% off.
After investing billions to light up our network, T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Plus, right now, you can switch, keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's a Monday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, that's me. Jeff Lutz, that's him. We co-host. Max Power produces and engineers, but Andrew Fry in for Max the next couple of weeks. We welcome him to the show.
He's back there. He sure is.
869-1240, the IHOP hotline if you'd like to get involved. Of course, on Mondays, now that the NFL season is here, we're going to talk a lot about the Sunday action. We'll get into some baseball. We've got Derek Tuttle, the head football coach at Andover Central. They opened with a shellacking of Hutchinson on Friday night. They are the number 1 ranked team in Class 4A. We'll talk with Derek Tuttle coming up at 2:45. At 3:25, Tim Fitzgerald, GoPowerCat.com. Boy, K-State was really on the ropes in that game against Tulane, but found a way to win it, and they are 1-0 coming back home.
Did they find a way to win it, or did they find a way to not lose it? That's kind of what I saw from Kansas State.
Well, they won it. There
was
put
a
together,
bad call in the end zone.
I don't know about that call. That call made my head hurt. I don't know if it's a bad call or not.
They had the ball laid and didn't try to go up by 2 touchdowns. They gave it back to Tulane. I just didn't like what I saw.
Well, you didn't like what you saw, but they won the game.
Yeah, they ended up with more points.
And they come home and they're 2-0, and that's where they are. You win a game.
I'll say this.
The big test on the road for them, unlike KU, they passed it.
Well, I don't know. They received a passing grade. Let's just say that.
What I just said.
I don't know. They passed to move on your grade.
Yes. No, I didn't. No, I never said that.
A D is still passing.
Don't put words into my mouth. They got through it. You knew that game was going to be difficult.
Do you feel
from the get-go? You knew that immediately going on the road, playing a good Tulane team, second game of the year. You haven't quite figured it out. You got a new quarterback.
Quarterback that gave you a lot last year when he played.
Yeah, but he's now the full-fledged
and they're not really turning him loose. Or it's just I didn't.
Well, fine. I don't care what you thought.
I feel worse about KU and K-State today than I felt about them going into Saturday.
Everybody does. You're part of a big club there. But K-State won. They have Arizona coming up Friday night in Manhattan. First Big 12 game of the year against Arizona. Let me repeat that. And KU comes home to face UNLV, licking their wounds, which are plentiful. So we'll talk with Tim Fitzgerald about K-State and get into the whole Big 12. with Fitz coming up at 3:25 today. We'll start with the NFL from yesterday. One of my first reactions, of course, involved my fantasy team, which I was concerned about early. They kind of caught fire, but then Virgil's team caught fire.
Uh-oh, did you lose?
Cooper Kupp had a
that's a problem.
Heck of a game. And now we're pretty much deadlocked going into tonight where I have Christian McCaffrey and he has Breece Hall.
Uh-oh.
How do I cheer against Breece Hall?
Well, hope that he does well, but McCaffrey does a little bit better.
By the way, your team's awful.
Well, not necessarily. We got a couple guys going today.
You don't have a chance of winning.
I don't know if we have anybody going today or not, to be honest. We got a chance. They still haven't dropped it down to 0. And I don't know if our team's awful. Just had an off week. There's a lot of guys that you look at in fantasy and they don't do much in week 1 and you want to give up on them. Marvin Harrison didn't do a darn thing.
I may give up on him.
There were some quarterbacks that didn't do a whole lot.
You know who did do a darn thing? Both David Montgomery and Jamison Williams for the Lions. Jamison Williams may be plugged into that Marvin Harrison slot.
You think so?
Well, yeah. Did you see him?
He had a great night.
That's a talent. And he's been hurt.
People have kind of been predicting this year as the breakout for him. And
how'd I get him that late?
Because he hasn't produced yet in the NFL. We're all kind of tantalized by the talent, but what have you done to show me that it's real? And now he has that under his belt. And him and opposite Amon-Ra St. Brown with the running game that they have, Montgomery and Gibbs, the tight end Laporta.
Well, they were barely able to pull that out.
And with Green, well, still the Rams. The Rams are tough. And with Green Bay,
yeah, but the Rams had injuries. I guess you talk about a passing grade.
All you have to do is win. And
well, I just said that about K-State.
Yeah, but that's different.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
How?
College is different.
How is it different?
College is different because it's Tulane and it's Illinois. It's not a team that's necessarily.
Tulane's really good.
Not Tulane.
Are you kidding?
Get out of here with Tulane.
Did you watch the game?
Yes. Nothing they did.
Did you see that quarterback?
He's fine.
They may not face too many better.
Well, how about you cover somebody? Well, that would be my first.
Well, maybe, you're underselling Tulane.
A guy shouldn't be 30 yards wide open.
It's amazing what you're willing to get on this show and say. It just astounds me sometimes.
Tulane or K-State was, what, a 9.5-point favorite, something like that?
And you lost that game.
Yeah, everybody probably did.
I'll tell you how the picks went, if you're interested. I got 2 games right and won the week.
No, you didn't.
I was 2 and 6 for 22 points because I got my 8 and 7, and then I got Texas for 7.
Fine.
How about that?
I got 21 though.
You were 2 and 6. You got Dallas and Detroit, and
Houston didn't cover.
No.
What was their
2.5?
What'd they win by?
Not that much. They won by 2.
You sure about that?
Yes. And then you got Texas, so you had 17 points. Duda only got 2 games right. They were his 1 and 2.
Good grief.
And he lost 6 in Michigan. He lost 3 points for the week.
That's not good. We usually don't have negatives.
Max got to 13 for the week, and the big fella had the best week with 3 and 5. Well, we're off to a rocky start in this thing. And he got 15 points.
I felt like the 2 most predictable outcomes of the weekend were Dallas stomping Cleveland, Texas stomping Michigan. I don't know why I only put 5 on that game. I was afraid of losing points, but I shouldn't have been. Texas was never going to lose that game or even be threatened. I should have put all 10 on it.
Why didn't you?
Bad logic.
I put 7 on it.
Yeah, I should have put 10. But I talked myself out of it because what if I lose 5? But I was never going to lose 5. I should have gotten 10.
Well, you'll still be scared.
No, I won't.
The next week when we do this
again. If it's a game that is that obvious, then I won't.
Well, I'm not going to make it an obvious game.
You don't know.
I do know.
You don't know what I feel is obvious.
Well, you're right because you're completely off your rocker. Yesterday, observations. Now, I have YouTube TV now, and I was tempted to click the button that takes me to the NFL Sunday ticket.
That's all you had to
I
do.
did not. It's a lot of money. I did not do it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a need.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's a need either. But I was tempted.
You get to watch the Chiefs. You get to watch the national games. There's no other real games that were on Sunday Ticket that you just had to see.
I'll do a quick observation on each game. Steelers-Falcons, which I did get to watch. Well, yeah. I mean, I like watching football.
Okay, but do you like
Unlike
watching
you.
that?
Sure.
Was that football?
Yeah.
That was literally
You didn't
football.
watch it.
Yes, I did. It
No,
was
you
awful.
didn't.
Yes, I did. It was
That's
on
how
Fox.
Pittsburgh plays.
Yeah, but it's not
And they're going to be good
entertaining.
again. They're going to be in the playoffs.
They're not going to be good.
We're going to wonder how in the world. Yeah, they are because they have a good defense.
They're going to have a winning record. That's different from being good.
They're good. Buffalo looked like you know what early. Then they caught fire. And can we throw a ball to Marvin Harrison if we're the
I
Arizona
don't think
Cardinals?
Kyler Murray can get down the field as much anymore.
Bears were
Next.
Bears were putrid and won without an offensive touchdown. I don't get it. Their defense is, I guess, okay, but their offense flunked. Tennessee should be embarrassed. The Bengals, our
Should be
friends
embarrassed.
Scott Griffiths and Joel T. Lamerno, you guys are it's a clown show.
I got a Bengals guy at work. He was decked out in Bengals gear today, just really asking for the ridicule that comes along with
and he
that.
deserved it. Just awful to lose to New England at home in your opening game where hopes are high. People think you got a shot. Nobody thinks that now. The Texans and the Colts, whale of a game. Those two teams are both good and fun to watch. It doesn't get any better. That was the game of the day yesterday.
I didn't get to see it.
Jags and Dolphins, the whole thing with Tyreek Hill before the game, unbelievable. And then for him to come out and catch 7 balls.
Now, shouldn't I be more interested in Jags, Dolphins? Those are two teams with playoff aspirations.
Well, why weren't you
They got young
interested?
quarterbacks who battled in college, and
Why weren't you
it's kind of a
interested?
nothing game to me.
Carolina should fold its franchise. New Orleans is not very good, and they put up 47 and won by 37.
What if New Orleans is good?
They're not.
But what if they are?
I saw enough of the highlights. They're okay, but that Carolina is just awful.
I understand that.
New Orleans
But
is
47
I
points.
said New Orleans would win that division. I do think that's the case because I don't think anybody else is good
Tampa?
enough to beat them. The Vikings, impressive. Sam Darnold, give it up. I mean, he played well.
Speaking of a team
What did he
that should
completed
fold
his
its
first
franchise.
12 passes?
Sure.
You don't know
Yeah, why would I?
because you don't follow this stuff.
No, I don't care. How about
Right.
that he completed this
On the
first
other
12
end,
passes.
you don't care, so you don't follow.
No, I don't care that he completed his first 12 passes. That means nothing.
The Raiders are going to be the Raiders. They had a chance down 5 or 6, down 5, I believe, in the fourth quarter. They had the ball in Chargers territory, 4th and 4, 4th and 3, whatever it was, and decided to punt and try to pin the Chargers down. Well, that didn't go well. The Chargers proceeded to go the length of the field for a touchdown. And I don't know about Antonio Pierce.
Well, that
Where
wasn't
are my
a good
Raiders
call, was
people?
it?
Where's Cap? I mean, call him.
I'm not going to call him.
Seahawks look good. Got to see a large part of that game. They're pretty impressive. Denver, I mean, that game was closer than it should have been, but I came away impressed by Seattle. I also came away impressed by Dallas. Cleveland, man, get out of that city, Jeff.
I don't
That
care about
city's
the
not going to do
Browns.
anything for you.
Well, I have no interest in the Browns. Absolutely none. Zero.
But that whole city is,
What's wrong with the city?
I don't know, everybody that plays there doesn't win.
The Cavs were in the playoffs. The Guardians are going to be in the playoffs. I don't understand what your point is.
Buccaneers,
Browns were in the playoffs last year.
they're not very good. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes. You keep thinking, he's just okay, and then he keeps chugging along, putting up good numbers. He's a good quarterback.
He's done it for more than a year now.
And then last night, the Lions in overtime beat the Rams, an entertaining game. It's fun to watch a game in Detroit. Those fans are awesome.
Well, they're ready.
They like that team. They like that coach. They like the vibe. They like everything. It's that might be my team.
No one's doing that anymore. We're not.
Let's go back to it.
No, we're done with that. You botched that 7 or 8 times. It's over now. You don't have a team. You don't get a team. Detroit.
My wife kind of likes Detroit, and I was kind of with her last night.
Yeah, but liking a team is not about liking an iteration of the team. You weren't there for the lean years with the Lions. You didn't go through that, so you cannot be a Lions
when they had
fan.
Barry.
Everybody liked him when they had Barry.
But they were not. Well, they didn't win.
Did you like him when they had Kevin, whatever his name was?
Yeah, I did.
The running back?
Yeah, Kevin Falk.
No.
Who?
I can't remember the guy's name. That's how bad he was. Did you like him when they had John Kitna?
Yeah.
Did you like him when they had Charles Rogers?
You know, one of the things I've always liked about the Lions? That Lions insignia on their helmet.
That's called a logo.
I like that.
Yes.
What's with your attitude
What's
today?
with your attitude today?
I'm just going through this.
Yeah, we don't need to just. Okay, we went through every game. Now what?
Well, I like talking about the NFL.
So do I. But now what? That we've.
Well, observations. What did you take from it?
What did I take from it? That's always a tough question. Very broad question. Who are the teams that you know now are going to finish 4th in their division?
Well, I don't know about that.
Carolina's going to finish 4th.
Carolina's terrible.
It seems like the Giants will probably finish 4th.
Or the Commanders.
I think the Commanders are better.
That's up for grabs. Commanders were awful. They don't have any defense.
Are the Bengals locked into finishing dead last?
No. The Browns will finish last in that division.
They might make a change at quarterback, though. Cincinnati cannot.
Raiders are going to finish last. Undoubtedly. No question.
Even behind Denver.
No question. Absolutely.
So these are teams now with no hope. Tennessee will finish last.
Well, they look good for a while, though, especially their defense.
Are they going to finish ahead of Houston, Indianapolis, or Jacksonville?
I don't know. I hesitate to just throw in the towel on Tennessee, but they didn't do much offensively. And you got to question, is Will Levis ready to take on? The thing is,
he doesn't have much.
You've got to have an experienced, talented quarterback in this league. These young guys aren't gonna do it immediately.
Levis
I had real high hopes for Caleb Williams yesterday, and while he had moments, it didn't look good.
He didn't even throw for 100 yards, did he?
It didn't look good.
It's pretty awful.
I don't know what we're going to do.
It's hard. These rookie quarterbacks, people expect them to come in and just be amazing, but it doesn't really work that way. And I'm worried about Caleb Williams because I saw him on the Fox pregame show doing an interview, and they asked, is anything overwhelming you so far? And he was like, nah. And should he be overwhelmed? No. But should he be, ready for whatever the NFL brings at him? I don't think he is. And he got, not humiliated, but he got introduced to the NFL yesterday.
Well, you saw a lot of.
How will he adjust?
You saw a lot of porous quarterbacking, and maybe some of that is youth, some of it is first game, but you saw that all across the league that quarterbacks really were struggling. Justin Fields didn't have it. Kirk Cousins, who doesn't have youth to blame, he wasn't very good. So
Nobody was great,
it was everywhere.
Really.
It was everywhere.
Yeah, it's weird.
The 2 quarterbacks in the Texans-Colts game were fun. Anthony Richardson, look out. He had moments where he looked all world, and then a couple moments where he was rough.
Well, it's
the talent.
His first year, basically. So again, that's going to happen. No one's going to play perfect. No one's going to play perfect in week 1. Each team will have some wins that'll surprise you, some losses that'll surprise you. That's the NFL. That's just what we're going to get every year. And we had some of those yesterday.
Yeah, we'll see. C.J. Stroud was good. Joe Mixon was phenomenal. 30 carries on a team that you think, well, they're going to throw the ball 4 out of 5 times with Stroud and that receiving core. Joe Mixon was the biggest difference maker yesterday, in my opinion, of all the new players acquired by any team. 100, how many yards? 159 for Joe Mixon. They add that element, and they barely won because Indianapolis has a good team. Those will both be playoff teams, I think.
Well, they looked the part yesterday.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Nothing is more important than getting a good night's sleep, and when you don't get the rest you need, your whole day is thrown off. That's why it's so important to choose the right mattress. Sleeping on a Purple mattress is truly a unique experience, because Purple mattresses are made with a GelFlex Grid. The GelFlex Grid is an innovative material that moves with your body to relieve pressure in areas like knees and hips, and support in others like your back. It feels soft where you want it and supports where you need it. Purple mattresses instantly adapt when you move. You don't sink in and get stuck like with memory foam. And thanks to over 1,400 air chambers in the GelFlex Grid, you will sleep cooler on a Purple mattress. Purple has a wide variety of mattresses, from the original Purple mattress to the Restore Hybrid collection that combines GelFlex Grid with coils, and the Rejuvenate Luxe collection, the height of luxury, with over 112,000 5-star reviews to prove it. Visit purple.com to find the perfect Purple for you and enter code podcast10 to get 10% off.
After investing billions to light up our network, T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Plus, right now, you can switch, keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
It's a good thing baseballs already have stitches, because the way these ball players are hitting them, yeah, they'd need stitches if they didn't already have them. So the next time you're watching a poor little baseball smacked off the wall in center, keep that little fella in your thoughts. It's hard to be a baseball right now. Baseball is something else. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
All right. Who do we have on hold? I have already...
Aaron, I believe, was
There you go. I think you're right. Hello,
Hey,
Aaron. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. You can hear me fine?
You got you, Aaron.
All right, awesome. So I guess this is about last night's game, the Detroit Lions and the Rams, more so about the fans. I just want you guys to answer me. Am I taking too much stock in this? Am I overreacting? But it really rubs me the wrong way every time Detroit boos Matt Stafford. I might be a hypocrite here. I was at the Chiefs game when they cheered for Matt Castle getting injured. I wasn't proud of that, but it just, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's like, why are you booing the guy for doing everything he could? I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I taking too much stock in that? That's
I don't know all the history. I don't know what Matt Stafford said. I don't know if he had some parting shots on the way out.
I don't think so.
He certainly did his best for that franchise. But let me explain something about the NFL that may be different. These fans show up hours before games and they drink. Mm-hmm. And who knows if their emotions that they share at these games are real or whether they're enhanced by alcohol.
Right.
I bet you Matt Stafford doesn't lose a minute of sleep.
Fair enough. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm sure Lions fans felt like it was some sort of a showdown between the guys who got traded for each other. We saw it last year, too, in the playoffs. I think that game was also in Detroit.
Yes, it was.
But it's going to be a barometer. Matthew Stafford went to the Rams and won a Super Bowl, and now the Lions are in contention for that, so there might be some hard feelings.
Have a boo. You're the fan. Go do it.
I don't know if I'd boo.
You know what I do? Maybe I wouldn't boo, but you can do what you want.
Sure.
And I'll say this. When a Cardinals, I'm switching gears to baseball. When a Cardinals legend or somebody prominent that would compare to a Matt Stafford gets dealt to another team or signs a free agent deal with another team and they come back to St. Louis, they almost always get a standing ovation.
Absolutely.
Because Cardinals fans, first of all, they're not inebriated when they go to the stadium.
Of course they are.
For the most part.
It's Busch Stadium.
No, we don't drink there.
Absolutely.
And secondly, Cardinals care about their history. Just this week, they inducted 3 new members into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and they had back all these people. It's just amazing.
Who did they give the Red Jackets to this year?
Matt Morris, who was great, an old Cardinal whose name escapes me. I'm sorry. I should know it.
You should.
He's been dead for a long time. Whitey Kurowski.
Is that right?
Yeah. I thought of it. I don't know how I pulled that out, but I don't know. And then Dave Duncan. Their pitching
shouldn't
coach.
he already be in?
Should be. Yeah, but he's not. So that's always a really good thing. And they had Mark McGwire came back for it, Tony La Russa, Vince Coleman, Ray Langford, Ozzie Smith. I mean, all the guys. All the guys.
Sure,
Chris
why wouldn't
Carpenter,
they? It's Hall of Fame weekend.
No Yachty.
Uh-oh.
He has not been seen in St. Louis all year.
What do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of it, but it's strange.
It is a little
strange. I wonder if they're just kind of keeping him under wraps for making the announcement that he's your new Cardinals manager.
Try not to put him in the spotlight too much and get that talk going when there's already a manager in place. Maybe.
Wouldn't that be received well by those of us who...
I would think. But his relationship with the Cardinals over the last year and a half, 2 years has
been strange.
It's been weird.
It's been strange. I don't think you can say it's been bad.
No, it's just been weird.
It's just there hasn't been any relationship.
Yeah, I don't know how to think about that.
You went to L.A., ran into some good pitching, as you knew you were going to.
Have you ever had a first place team and just tired of it?
Well, they don't excite you because they don't hit. And it's really hard to...
Well, they don't put the players on the team that can hit. And
they brought up your boy Manzardo.
Yeah.
And a good first game.
And why don't we bench him? And it's just... They don't know what they're doing. At this time of the year, you're supposed to have a lineup in place. You're going to the postseason. I get you want a platoon advantage here and there, but you should be playing 9 guys. You should figure out who your best 9 are, play them, win, get to the playoffs, and be ready.
That lead over the Royals now down to 2.5. Royals swept the Twins. The Twins, boy, did Rocco Baldelli let them have it by not saying anything at all about that series other than, what did he say?
I don't know.
Didn't you read his post game?
I did not.
He just said this was a non-competitive series, and that's all I have to say.
Royals bounced back.
Royals scored 9 runs in 3 games and won them all.
Pitching, that hasn't faltered at all this year.
Royals begin a series in New York now, so what a gauntlet they've been through, and here they are, even with a 7-game losing streak as a part of this, just 2.5 games behind Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland had an 8-game losing streak not too long ago, and they're in they're in Chicago for the White Sox, and they'll lose one of those. So good luck, Royals. They'll probably lose tonight.
Why in the world are you so defeatist?
I'm just going to be so relieved when this season is over.
Really?
Yes, if it doesn't end with a World Series championship, which it likely won't, I'm just ready for it to be over.
Well, you've got Chicago, then you're at home against Tampa and Minnesota. Then you go to the Cardinals, who are just awful. Then you have a couple at home against Cincinnati. Then you finish the season with 3 against Houston. What's your record right now? Can you hold on?
19 over, I think. I'm not sure.
Can you hold on?
Probably. But I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it.
Well, the Dodgers are good.
Nothing to watch.
You won 1 of 3 against the Dodgers. That's about as much as you could have expected.
I get it, and I know that the guys that Cleveland has that are all-stars this year aren't on the level of the guys the Dodgers have, but Shohei Ohtani shows up and hits homers. Mookie Betts shows up and gets some key hits and homered yesterday. Freddie Freeman shows up, plays well. Stephen Kwan is benched yesterday. That's an all-star. Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez did nothing.
What's Stephen Kwan hitting since June?
In the ones.
It's just been awful.
He's horrific.
What happened?
And you just leave him at leadoff. Nothing's wrong here.
What happened? He was flirting with 400.
I think he's dead tired.
He's now down to less than 290.
Correct. He looks tired to me.
Tired?
Yeah, when I saw
know what
him,
we said in the 60s when somebody...
Well, whatever.
You know what Bob Gibson
When you're tired, you're tired.
You know what Lou Brock would have done if you'd gone to him and said, Lou, you tired? He'd have punched you right in the nose.
You'd have said, yeah, I'm retiring at 32. I'm so tired.
Look when Lou Brock retired.
I know he didn't, but a lot of guys did.
What are you picking on Lou Brock for?
I love Lou Brock.
I'll go to war with
the worst guy in the 3,000 hit club.
The worst guy.
You see the worst
Did
player.
you not watch him play?
I'm asking.
No, of course not.
Who do you think is the worst modern member? So I'm not going back to Ross Youngs or whoever those old Giants teams had. I want to know, and this obviously is a very high bar, 3,000 hits. Who's the worst guy in that club?
Well, I'll tell you, but it's certainly not Lou Brock. Did you not watch him play in the day?
No, I didn't. I wasn't alive.
Where were you? Miguel Cabrera, no. Albert Pujols, no. Adrian Beltre, no. I haven't run into the worst guy. Ichiro, no. A-Rod, the most bulked up. I don't know if that counts. Derek Jeter, no. Craig Biggio,
he could be.
He'd be in the discussion. Rafael Palmeiro, who never met a steroid he didn't like.
That's up there.
Not Ricky Henderson. Cal Ripken Jr., no. Wade Boggs. He barely got to the 3,000
Yeah, it's
club.
crazy because he walked so much. He doesn't get enough credit for the level of offensive player that he was. So it's going to be between Palmeiro and Biggio.
Gwen Molitor, Eddie Murray,
no.
Dave Winfield, George Brett, Robin Yount. Now we're in an area where these guys are all awesome. Rod Carew, Carl Yastrzemski, Lou Brock barely got in, but stole over 900 bases.
Sure did. Got caught a lot.
Pete Rose, Al Kaline, he just got in barely, but he hit for power. Roberto, of course, one of the greats. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Stan.
What order is that going in?
Greatest, Paul Wainer.
Seriously, I don't understand the...
Now we're getting back to the old days. So I'd say Craig Biggio.
Worst guy in the 3,000 hit club.
And he's a great player, but the worst member of the 3,000 hit club.
That's probably fair.
Now, after looking at it, that would be who I...
That's my friend Jamin.
Like Jamin, you've just asked me.
I know. I want to see what he thinks.
Well, who do you think?
I'd go Biggio. Probably,
we're in
or
agreement.
Palmeiro, but Palmeiro had 500
Palmeiro.
home runs.
Yeah, but Rafi, what am I going to say?
Glowing.
You know what happened?
And got mad at me once.
You know what happened one time? He got mad at you?
Yeah. When I was scorer for the Wingnuts and he was playing and his son was playing, he got mad that I didn't give his son a hit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, like mad how? Came up to the press box, man?
No, I was down because I had to give the box score to the coaches.
Well, what did he say
managers.
to you?
I don't remember. Just was not happy.
Was it angry? Did he challenge you to a fight?
I would have handled him. He was 92 at the time.
Well, was it a day game?
No.
So they'd turn the lights off and you could still see him. There it is.
There you go. That wasn't horrible.
That wasn't great. But it's all I had. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I never liked Rafael Palmeiro.
I don't remember if I liked
in
him
the
or
NBC
disliked.
for the
Yes, he
Hutchinson
did.
Bronx. Hutch had a run, man. When you can say you had Palmeiro, you had Barry Bonds, Public Works didn't need to do much in Hutchinson in those years. Just put them on the field and the whole city lit up. There it is. Joined on the hotline now by Derek Tuttle. He's the head football coach at Andover Central. They are off to a flying start with a big, impressive win over Hutchinson in Week 1. Derek, hello, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Bob. Appreciate you having me.
So no matter what the expectations are as you go into a new season, and they're high for you guys, you always have that little seed of, I wonder what we're going to see. You had to be pretty happy.
Yeah, we were. I mean, our kids had the theme of wanting to set the tone in game one and kind of set the tone, not so much against exactly Hutchinson per se, but just for the season and for what we want to try to stand for and accomplish this season. And they did a lot of good things. We had our share of mistakes, but they did a great job of kind of setting that tone for the year.
Yeah, what did that show you about the mentality of this team coming off getting to the state championship last year? I'm sure the summer was geared toward another deep postseason run. So, what did their play tell you about how badly they want that?
Well, had a lot of good leadership from our seniors in the summer and accomplishments in the weight room and in the off season. I thought we did a good job with that, and the kids understood that we didn't have our best game, at state title game, not to take anything away from St. Thomas Aquinas. They're a great team, but we didn't handle the option real well in that game. And when you play that flexbone offense, it makes you be very disciplined. And so we spent a tremendous amount of time, and our defensive coaches did a great job this summer and in preseason here, getting our kids ready for that. And I think it was Gary Patterson, one of the D1 coaches, said something to the nature of if you can, prepare for and stop option and do that first defensively, that gives you a lot of preparation to stop just about anything down the road. And so that makes you be assignment sound, and I think that's a great way to start our season is how we came out and we're prepared for that.
Derek Tuttle, our guest, he's the head football coach at Andover Central. They beat Hutchinson 37-7 on the road, and that's, we think Hutchinson's going to be a good team. They have been. They got a very well thought of coach in Mike Vernon. So you go into that game. What happened in that game, Derek, that kind of turned the tide for you guys?
Yeah, and we whenever you play in a game like that and against the option offense, you kind of hope you get the ball first because they're a team like many other running football teams. If it's fourth and medium, fourth and short, a lot of times they're going to go for it, and their drives can be very disheartening and hurt your morale because it's just you just think you're going to get off the field, and then they go for it on fourth down and they get it, and then their drive turns into a really long drive. And so we kind of flipped the tables on that. We took the ball, which we normally do anyway, but we ended up having a really long first quarter drive. I think that took their wind out of their sails a little bit. And, Hutch is a solid football team, and they're going to be really good down the stretch, I think. they were without one of their top kids, but I think I heard he'll be back from Coach Vernon. But anyway, that was a big key for us is that was the long first drive, and then we had a little bit of Jace Jefferson to Jace Adler putting the ball on the money on a deep pass, and that got up 14-0. And I think that was a huge key factor just to get a big jump on them early.
Yeah, you do have the two Jaces, as you mentioned, Jace Jefferson, the quarterback, Jace Adler, the receiver, two very, very good returning players. What can you tell us overall about the connection those two have? And when they're going like that, is it hard to maintain the balance that you want going into a game because your running game was also very good?
Yeah, we still kind of have the mindset, at least as a team and our coaching staff and our kids, we still have the mindset that we just want to take what we can from the defense, and like whatever they're taking away, we're going to try to do something a little bit different by still trying to get our ball to our playmakers, and sometimes that's very challenging. But yeah, I thought we did a nice job of maintaining the balance of running game and passing game, and sometimes they complement each other. Obviously, the more a team tries to take away the pass, sometimes that opens up the run, and vice versa, as you guys know.
Derek Tuttle, our guest from Andover Central. So you've been coaching a while, and you always want to put yourself in position to have this kind of a team. Yeah, your goal is to build a program. But even with that, even with the understanding that Andover Central is going to be pretty good every year, this is a special group, right? This is a group that you guys want to win with and want to win big with.
Yeah, there's a special nature to our senior class. I think those kids have been playing together, and it's a big class. We have about 24 of them out, which for a school our size is a little unusual. If we have over 20, and by the time they're seniors, that's a little on the unusual side. But they're a neat group. They've been playing together for a long time, and they're even coached by back in the Little League days by Mitch Gee, who is one of our equipment and graphics guys. He helps out our team a lot. And it's kind of cool for him to see them develop and grow over the years. And but they're an exciting bunch, and they're talented in a lot of ways. They've played a lot of sports, in which I think any coach would feel lucky to have a group like this because of the nature of the 2 and 3 sport athletes we have, but also just a lot of great kids, and very fortunate to have that.
So you're kind of in that group now where, you're not going to be challenged a ton the next few weeks probably.
Don't listen to that, Derek. There's no way in the world you believe that.
You probably don't believe it, but maybe I believe it. I guess the question is then, since you probably don't agree with that premise, is how do you avoid something like last year where you had the 3 losses in the middle of the season? How did that fuel you then, and how do you avoid it now?
Well, it's kind of our approach from day to day and week to week. I think we have to be very on top of the kids about our mindset, our focus on improvement, our focus on self-discipline, and those things will really go a long way towards keeping our focus in the right spot. Like I told the kids once we were about ready to kick off Friday, I said, "Hey, all the preseason talk and all the talk about November is done. But that's preseason hype and all that stuff. Let's focus on what's in front of us right now and today. And if we keep that in our forefront of our minds and and our intentions, then we'll be successful as we go down the stretch. But it's just I know it's kind of coach speak, but it's just kind of one day at a time. We just got to keep our focus where our feet are."
And I apologize for that premise presented by my offspring.
I liked it.
Derek Tuttle with us from Andover Central. They play at Newton coming up this Friday. And Derek, we really appreciate your time. You've got a heck of a team. We're very fascinated by this offense, and I know it kind of, when that happens, when you have this many playmakers, your defense kind of gets overwhelmed a little bit, at least in the discussion. But you only gave up 7 points against Hutchinson. What do you tell those guys on the defensive side of the ball, and how many of those play offense for you as well?
Well, right now we have 2 kids, or actually 3 kids that are pretty heavily involved on the offensive side. So Jay Sadler, of course, at receiver, and he also plays free safety. Brody DeGarmo at corner, and he also plays a little bit in our 10 personnel package at receiver. And then Dawson Rod is just a tremendous force on both sides of the ball for us on the offensive and defensive lines. And so, and there's a few other kids here and there that that'll help out, but those are the main three. And we try to start as many different kids as we can to keep guys fresh. And yeah, our defense, I thought it can get overlooked in years like this, but we have some great kids over there done a tremendous job as well. Like for example, Landon Preston and DeGarmo both had great games, and what they helped do against Hutchinson. We had we even have some up and coming kids too, the underclassmen that stepped up and performed really well, like Jalen Wilson, and even a senior Carson Green on defensive line. They don't show up on the stats sheet, but what they did up front against Hutch's offensive line really helped our tacklers get to the ball, and that was a huge factor in the game. And then of course on special teams we got a new kicker this year, dual sport kid. Andrew Klaus is a good soccer player for us, and he decided to dual sport it this year and come over and kick for us, and he helped score 7 points for us Friday night. So that was a big deal for him too.
And I need to mention that Jeff alluded to the 3 games you lost in a row last year. Well, you have those 3 again right in a row starting in early October. Goddard, Salina Central, Goddard, Eisenhower. So this schedule is certainly not a cream puff one. We wish you the best of luck, Derek, as you move forward. We'll be in touch soon, okay?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, Derek Tuttle from Andover Central. Man, I'm surprised he didn't jump through the phone.
Oh, they'll win all the 3 of those games by 15 each.
Really?
Probably. Eisenhower's tough.
What about Goddard? They beat Mays in their opener, and my very good friend Tommy Beeson
Love Tom
coaches
Beeson.
that team.
He's fantastic. Wonderful human being.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
We have a guest.
Tommy, are you listening?
We have a guest in the next segment.
What?
Yeah, it's the first Monday of the week for our show. We got Jamel Hollaparrott coming up.
Thanks for springing that on me.
Hey, it's got sprung on me, too. I forgot.
Why don't you take... I thought you were in charge of that.
I do, and she was booked. I forget everything.
Put it in your phone.
Yeah, I've never done that before, but I might have to start doing that.
That's what I do.
Usually I just remember stuff, but not anymore, my friend.
No, you put it in your phone. That's how you do that stuff.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
After investing billions to light up our network, T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Plus, right now, you can switch, keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90+ days with device and eligible carrier and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
Everybody knows it. Toyota trucks are the stuff of legends. Rugged, durable, everlasting. Toyota makes trucks that just don't quit. And now Toyota is driving that legacy toward the future with 2 of their most powerful trucks ever, the new Tundra and the all-new Tacoma. In a half-ton Tundra, you can rule the roads. From the comfort of a spacious cabin with connected tech and plenty of hauling power, the Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Or check out the all-new 24 Tacoma, redesigned and electrified to maximize your adventure. With a bevy of available off-road driving and power transfer modes, you will effortlessly crush the conditions. And with the Tacoma's reimagined interior, you'll do it in style. And right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
For the first time, U.S. subscribers can stream MLB Network 24/7, including select out-of-market games.
Swing and a drive. It's deep. It's gone. Yes!
Stream minor league affiliates.
Home run number 1. For draft pick number 1.
Plus, get MLB Big Inning and live audio for all 30 teams.
Baseball can't get better than this.
Experience the game like never before with MLB Network and @Bat, your all-in-one baseball destination. Only $6.99 per month. Visit MLB.com/@Bat for details. Blackout and other restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission.